Oh, geez. I need to zoom out for this one.
We're instantly met with this grand room. The walls are covered from floor to ceiling. This room is easily just about, frankly, 30 foot high. A large vaulted ceiling. The floor is covered with a huge mosaic of different tiles, squares and triangles, rectangles, just all sorts of mismatched different colored tiles. The walls are just absolutely coated with hieroglyphics and text, which look like the similar ones you've seen with the hooded figures. Dots of brass and bronze respectively cover the respective figures. There are 6 large iron chandeliers chained up along the walls of the vaults of the ceiling, as well as 8 large stone pillars that reach up to kind of support the ceiling. But as you can tell, these stone pillars seem to be warriors of some kind, but they all seem to have their heads missing. Unnaturally like, not just carved that way. The entire room looks its fair share of the decay that the rest of the dungeon shows, and has just enough illumination from these chandeliers alone to keep this place lit. At the far back you can see a very large throne-like figurization, looks of importance of this room. A few doors dotted here and there, but more importantly, you see the feathered hybrid, and about 2, 4, count them, 6
6.
masked cultists, all paying attention to this hybrid guy.
Are they still slightly intoxicated? Some of them intoxicated, I hope?
As far as you can tell, none of them seem to have any resonation of this purple gas as before.
Darn, I was hoping that would
Everyone
give me an
behind you is
advantage.
trying to peek in as best they can.
I let them know the cultists are here and this is probably the room we're looking for.
Saber says, of course they're guarding it. Great.
Yep. Everyone prepare yourselves.
Everyone readies what they can. Florentine holds that staff she snagged earlier. Rothwell reloads her gun, and Saber pulls out her pickaxe once more.
My sword is before battle. I want to the staff inlaid with adamantine. I want to try and turn my sword into the adamantine.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to roll for that because it's a small amount, isn't it?
it is.
13.
Good enough. You easily do it. Sword is
Okay.
very interesting looking now. This large
And
winged one seems to be doing its preaching or lecturing again.
in my offhand, I also want to try and get the Rod of Cancellation just kind of palmed and ready in case of magics.
Alright, you kind of slide it into your belt.
Yes. Okay. Uh,
Alright, this thing is preaching. No one's noticed you're here yet. You believe you could eavesdrop or sneak or, you can do what you'd like. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Everyone's kind of waiting to see what you want to do first.
I want to try and... Here's an idea. I want to try and do like this pincer maneuver. I want, Rothwell and Saber to go try and sneak their way on the west side. And Florentine and I want to try and get her and I to go on the east side, and I want to try and get as close to the throne as possible because I think that's where the bird statue needs to go.
Okay. You tell
And
that
if
to
we're
them.
caught, we'd be able to attack them from both sides, which should divert their attention plenty.
They all agree.
All right. Time. That way, we also have 2 ranged people with each other at the same in both parties. So I'll just snap this way so Florentine can move one more block that way. Make it a little bit easier.
Well, try your very best to be just as quiet as possible. But as anyone would obviously be able to see you from across the room where the throne lies, no one's noticed you yet, as all the cultists have their backs turned, but this feathered thing doesn't even look like it's looking around. It's saying a lot of things right now.
He is
It's
heavily preaching.
he is making words and crowing and all sorts of noises. Um, it takes you a few moments and you kind of attune your ears. You believe you can make out what it's saying if you really tried to listen, if you care to.
Let's try and listen a little bit before we start moving again. Because I don't want to alert him. He might say something important.
Um, everyone, you kind of hold a hand out. Everyone kind of hunkers down as this thing doesn't obviously no longer has its staff. Is making these wild motions, almost like it's blind, like it would be casting a spell of some kind. As these masked figures are kind of just staring at him, well, motionless as you've encountered them before.
Hmm.
You now notice the hybrid figure is also throwing its pitched feathers here and about, just willy-nilly as it does its erratic movements. You start to fine-tune your hearing. Roll to see how well you can hear over its jumbles.
7.
7, okay. It's not perfect, as this place got a little bit of reverb and echo to it. But you kind of start making out these key words that seem to be getting repeated over and over. You start hearing, between all its crows and its auditing noises that are very unsettling, you start hearing Edus Lecca crows, Edus Lecca crows. We follow, she guides. We must find the statue. Those controlled the statue control the power of the Ancient One. Edus Lecca crows, Edus Lecca crows. That's about really the gist of all you're getting.
That's odd, to say the least. Alright, so how... I want to... We need to keep going with the plan and see how far we can get. Obviously, the statue is important to them. They think they're going to get some powers out of it from some deity. Uh, oh, great and merciful DM, how far do you think I can get? Or our parties can get?
The great and merciful DM is going to metagame and say you get to choose how far you would like to move, and then I will decide if you need to roll a stealth check.
I want to try and make it behind this
Rothwell will
first
actually
statue.
catch you before you move and say, remember how we talked to the one that stole the box on the ship?
Yeah?
I
How
know
it just kept repeating one thing over and over again?
this may be weird, but if we could figure out what they think, could we con them into something? I mean, take the statue out of the box, pretend to give him the box or something?
Good idea, but I
Saber actually
also
looks,
think it
that's a
might...
good idea.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. So I've got the... I've got that feathered pouch and the tree figurine. I'm gonna put the tree figurine in the feathered pouch and we can use that to maybe pass it off as the bird statue.
What do you mean, counterbalance the weight?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Make it seem more believable.
You believe you can easily counterbalance the weight between all the little trinkets you guys have found that you're willing to give up, and you kind of balance out the weight of what you think this little crude statue is and put it in the box.
Yeah. Alright.
Saber says, well, at least I can't just go up and give it to them. They were out for blood, last I remember. At least for me.
So what if I actually approach them and hand one of you guys the actual bird statue, so you guys can sneak around?
Florentine says, I guess it's good as any. If anything, we've got a backup, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. So I hand Florentine the bird statue.
She kind of tucks it away in one of her little pouches. And they wait for your signal as if ready to move along the sides.
I give them the signal. I want them to be a little ways away before I start making my move upward.
Alright. Rothwell and Saber quickly kind of crouch sprint and make it over to this corner as you see Florentine actually make it to this corner as well.
And I'll take about 3 steps forward.
Alright, this figure is still just gawking away with its noises and its words as you kind of peer out of your peripheral and see these guys kind of match your positioning. Kind of still hiding behind the statues, though.
Alright, I want to try and take 4 steps forward, obviously getting into their line of sight, but that'll also keep them... get my compatriots behind the other 2 statues.
Alright, they seem to match you. Shadows on the wall show that respectively. At which point, the cultists, like instinctively, all like a hive mind, just turn around and spot you. They just all glare at you with that same weird smiley mask. The preaching figure just stops all of its noises and holds a hand up, to which they kind of side to the side, as this one takes about 4 or 5 weird strides just in your general direction.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to gaze off like it's in another plane of thought, making its weird noises, still flapping its feathers, acting erratic as you've seen them before. He brings the statue.
I hold the bag in one of my hands tightly.
Oh, you didn't put it in the box?
No, I'm using the bag as a box. I didn't bring the box with me.
Oh, okay, fine then.
And I bring the statue, the counterbalanced thing, in the bag. That's the fake statue. You mean this?
Have you seen the error of your ways to join the razor crests? And let glory be to Etisleka. The rest of them kind of crow some sort of agreement or chant or something.
With obvious emphasis on a particular word, so my party members can understand. Before we proceed, I had a few questions.
Out of your periphery, you kind of see Saber kind of tap Rothwell like, come on, come on! And they managed to get right about here. Florentine didn't catch it that quick and actually took a few steps, but kind of like, oh, Mr. Timing, stayed where she was.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I didn't catch whatever you said after proceed. I'm terribly sorry.
I had a few questions for your group.
The figure just seems to gawk as usual, as if waiting.
What deity is it that you all worship? I am confused as to your purpose.
You instantly clap your ears as you're met with that horrible, just that crowing, that horrible shrieking noise. We do not worship. We obey as Etisleka crows. That's about all you get.
And what purpose does this, emphasize the bag, statue have to your goals?
Those who control the statue control the power of the Ancient One. With the power Etislaka will rise and rule this world like a god. That visibly sent chills to everyone, and you can even guess that to your party members.
Yeah. With emphasis on a particular word again, trying to get Florentine to move. Was Edis Lucca the one who started the trouble in this desolation? Started? Yeah.
She got it.
Okay.
As you kind of see these guys practically out of sight, as you can only assume they're behind the farthest statues in the corners of the room.
Right.
Etisleka did not start, but she will finish what the Ancient Ones once had. At this point, you also kind of take in your surroundings as, also watching these cultists to see if they're like drawing swords or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right about, straight up, right about where this hybrid is standing, there is a lot of blood scrawled on the floor in some form of words, but it looks too large of print to see from where you're standing. You're not at a good vantage point. And you've also kind of noticed to look past to see that this throne, now that you're closer, is in fact a throne, but it also looks more like some sort of sarcophagus embedded in a throne. And the sarcophagus figure looks like the motherly figure you saw in the mural before, silver crown and all. In its hands is an exact hole, which you guesstimate is the exact shape of the bird figurine.
So cautiously, I want to take a step forward. What will this statue actually do?
Um, you see, basically, at this point, your friends have practically gotten right up on this throne without any issues, and Saber's actually working her way to kind of get around this statue. She's visibly got the um, bird figurine in hand, but is kind of somewhat hesitant, like waiting to put the statue in, not knowing what it may do. As, if it triggers something, they might be caught, as you would
Mm-hmm.
guesstimate as well.
Right.
At this point, you believe you can possibly make out what the bloodstains say as well. Um, what was your question again? I am sorry.
What exactly will this statue do?
Or you get is more of that awful noise, and in unison, pretty much all the cult members say, "Release the powers of the Ancient One."
Right now, I'm second guessing the putting the statue back. Because if we actually do this, we may have to fight some ancient creature. And I'm not looking forward to that. I'm gonna die.
Saber's looking over at you, kind of trying to get your attention past this hybrid, like, "Can I do it? Can I put it in? Can I do it?"
I just kind of raise my hand to scratch my head, and
Kind of feign a stop signal.
yeah.
She seems to catch it, kind of gives you this look like, "Right here! It's right here!" Um, this guy will really. He'll start to walk your way. Before he steps over this blood, do you care to investigate what it says before he steps over it?
Yes, I want to know.
Roll perception.
11?
Good, it was only a 10. In blood, like someone has like slit open their hand and scrawled this as best they can. It says, "It's not a bird, it's not a bird." as this figure steps through the blood and gets right up close to you and holds a hand out expecting this bag. These cultists kind of side saddle up, reassuring that you will probably do this. Does anyone want to go deeper meaning into anything? Skaith, what are you thinking?
uh, I think as soon as we put the statue in the altar, that it's going to like absorb some sort of magical power and release whatever it. The tomb is not a tomb. The tomb has sealed the power, and the actual tomb or remains are in the statue. Oh, this is a bad idea. I'm just writhing and stupid. I am made of stupid.
Saber's giving you
Oh,
one final point, like, I'm gonna do it!
there's no avoiding it.
Um, I can metagame and give you only one suggestion if you
Um,
really want. If you're desperate. But otherwise it'll play out as, I guess, what you would
I have an
expect.
idea.
Okay?
I'll take one step back and say, what would you people actually do if I destroyed the statue?
With that, you see your friend stop as if,
Put it in my
okay,
speakers.
something's wrong. He's getting at something. They all seem very hesitant as you kind of hold this bag up, like, as if you're about to smash it or something. They say that would not be wise, as they all begin to brandish their weapons. All the masked figures pull out swords.
Honestly, I'd rather destroy the statue than have some creature destroy the world.
This thing will just glare you down and take a few more steps. It is right up in your grill and like breathing down your neck. And will just with one hand reach to grab this bag.
The hint to them is to destroy the statue. That's our way out. I'd rather fight the cultists than fight a beast.
I'm asking you right now, are you doing anything preventing him from grabbing that bag?
No, because I have an idea.
Okay. Tell me your idea or your friends are gonna... They've got your hint. They've raised it to the ground. They're about to smash this thing into the floor.
As he reaches for the bag, I do not let it go. I want to try and slash his arm off with my readied sword.
Okay. Let's see. What would you like to happen first? It could be on your cue. You're that in sync with your friends right now.
I just scream out now and slash.
Okay. Roll... Well, just go ahead and give me damage. There's no way you can miss this at point blank. Roll a d6.
1d6. 2.
Alright, this thing is now on play. And, I'll say... straight up 60 as you just cut this thing's arm off. With a straight up shriek, this thing will, waver back and basically almost throw you a few squares back as this thing's wings just catch a gust of you. The few cultists start to run up as a large clang and shatter is heard from behind everyone. All the cultists spin around and, they now see your three friends standing up next to the throne, and your friends look down and look back at you. Do you want to see what has happened? Or are you
What has
focusing...
occurred?
You look back and your friends are just as shocked as ever to see that this statue they have hurled into the floor like a slam dunk has broken the tile but is still intact.
Shit!
Alright. Same initiative as 4 cultists start going after your friends. Rothwell is first. No, I take that back. Bad guys first. Alright. A crit! Oh man. Nope. Nope. And a 15. The first two legitimately just chuck their swords like throwing knives. It just barely catches Rothwell's shoulder. Florentine is also nicked as her dress is cut to the sides, almost turning into a skirt. As these two swords just go into the back of the wall. Alright. Rothwell will try to retaliate and ready off a shot with an 11. Does not hit. It's a miss. Florentine will try and run up, and with a 19, manage to have that staff ready and whap this one upside the head. Give it a good crack with about 20. And just the way that she has hit this thing, I will go ahead and say that this one's disoriented for the time being. Skaith, it is your go.
How is that big boss guy? Is he still reeling? What?
At this point, he's clutching his arm, but he has spun around and noticed everything else as well. And you can tell he's darting for that statue on the ground. That's right about yay.
All right. What to do? What to do? I want to. Oh, I didn't bring my puppy with me. I was gonna have him.
You did. He's in your bag.
I did.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was assumed.
Okay. Well, then I want him
Do
to
you need
fire.
him?
Or I need him.
Give me one moment. I will give you your dog. Hopefully they still have him loaded in here, which he should be in here somewhere. What are you thinking?
He has pitch feathers too, correct?
What do you mean?
Because you said the big boss guy has feathers of pitch also. You said he was spewing those around.
Oh yeah, the hybrid's got the feathers
I
just
want
like
to
the
light.
birds.
I want to light him up like a Roman candle.
Alright, you've got your puppy with you. You want to try to get your dog to hack a little fireball at him?
Yes.
Roll to see if you can get your dog to do that. To hit, you must get a 15.
Yeah, I got a 12.
No, it lands just short. Like you just pulled your dog out of the bag and like, hey, wake up! And just the dog wasn't ready. Alright.
Well, my turn's wasted.
Saber
Great.
will do her best to actually just try and grab the statue first. Which she will do. And she now has the statue. That will pretty much be her turn. Alright. This one's all up in everyone's grill. Bad guys. 2. A miss against Rothwell. This poor one over here does a 3 and stumbles about, lost. This one will get up to Florentine. And with a 17, give a good slash at her with its sword. Actually down to 55. This one here will actually try and meet up with Saber. Try to swipe this statue out of her hand with its sword, frankly. Like try to cut her arm off like you did. With a meager 9, just misses. Big Boss Man will just work his way over. With a meager 7, is basically just making his way over. This one here rolls a crit 1. Sorry, why do I keep calling it a crit? Falls flat
That's a
on
critical
its
fail.
face for no reason. And this one will do just the same. So these are the 2 inept guards. Alright, Rothwell will batter up, as usual, with a 14. This does hit. This one's on the board. Only a 90. Florentine is trying her best not to use her magic. And with a 6, misses. dance about these guys. Skaith, you will go.
I am going to first tell my puppy, I pointed the cultists up here and say lunch.
Which one?
This guy.
Okay. I'm not even gonna have you roll. You flat up just chuck your dog on this one who's practically fallen face first, is trying to get up. Um, your dog is following in its parent's footstep and trying to eat this thing's face off.
Yay!
The sword has been tossed out of its hand, but is now, trying to claw and scratch at this cultist now. Alright. Do you want to do another minor action I'll give you?
I want to move over to the other cultist.
Just move?
Uh,
That one's prone at this point. He just fell.
I want to try and cleave his head off.
I'm not going to give you that. That's a move. You just trust your dog.
Yeah, it didn't. Yep, okay. So that's about it.
Okay, fine. Bad guys. 10 against this guy. Miss. 6 against Saber. Miss. Confused guy rolled an 18, but is confused. Actually, start going this way. And dance with Florentine with a good slash. Still the 40. She's not doing too good. Hybrid Man rolls a 7 and is also ganging up to try and wrestle this statue away from Saber. Oh, the one with the dog on it rolled a crit, a 20, and has chucked your dog across the room.
Oh no!
Flump to flump, flump, flump. No. Oh my.
Oh my.
I redact my statement. That was a crit. Your Hellhound pup is not dead, but is now missing a limb, as is also kicked off of it. Its front leg has been hacked off, as this inept guard has managed to get its sword back and kick this on-fire green dog across the room. The one against you rolls a 3 and is having a hard time to get up. It's just trying to grab your ankles at this point.
Oh my dog!
Rothwell will retaliate with a 16. Straight up try and shoot this thing. Straight up, just doesn't even, point blank, doesn't even get close. Just straight up blows this thing's head off. This cultist is dead. I'll do this again. Nope, let's just... Dead! Right, Florentine will do her best to stab this guy with her staff. With a 14 does so, and will actually pin him to the ground. But staff is now sticking out of its chest, like just a straight up impalement through the heart. And she now has this one pinned to the ground. Right. Skaith. This one's latching at your ankles.
I am pissed. The sword is going straight through his head. I'm stabbing his head. I'm not even going to clean it off. Or cleave off his head. It's just going straight through it.
Go. You gotta be at a 10. These little guys.
A 19.
Alright, to the prone guy?
Yes.
Alright, this goes straight through the mask, right through its head. It is dead. No damage roll needed. Straight up. Saber is getting much disadvantage right now. She's not having too good holding off the statue. Oh, and with a meager 10, she has lost the statue to big guy. Alright, bad guy's turns. This one will actually hit Saber or something. Good slash to the arm. No, sorry. She takes 75. Confused guy has rolled a 2. He just fell flat on his back. Confused man's not having a good day. This one up against Florentine has rolled a 12. Just barely missing. Tall guy is going, acts like he's above it all on like a different plane of thinking again and is slowly making his way towards the throne like he's cherishing this moment or something. And the one behind you will roll an 8 and will try and swing at you from behind. Even with a meager 8, still misses. Alright, Rothwell will
I don't.
now avert her gun to the big guy. With a meager 3, it does not fire a shot and is afraid of hitting Saber. Florentine will try and direct her attention the same. Rolls a crit with a 20. And actually, somehow manages. Oh, let's see if I can do this with an acrobatics and a. No, let's do a strength check. An 8 will actually work. She manages to use this cultist that is now on the end of her staff and whirl it around like a giant flesh hammer and smack big guy to the side about there. Fortunately, the staff is no longer in her hands. It is also in this guy, but they are over here now. Skaith,
I am.
your
I want
dog will
to.
do its best to try and work its way back towards you.
I just tell him to stay put. Stay.
The dog flumps down without any without any hesitation.
I don't doubt it.
This one's up in your grill. What are you doing?
I want to slash at him sideways.